Hello and welcome to another Catch Happy video, anglers. This is Alex coming to you from our studio here at Sweeney Sports in Napa, California. Today I'm going to talk to you about striper fishing on a budget. So the whole idea of fishing is doing fishing, is going out to enjoy the nature, the companionship, the tranquility, whatever floats your boat. It's just something to go and reset yourself and take yourself away from your day-to-day mundane and into going to the wild on the hunt. You don't really need to spend a lot of money to enjoy and love fishing. And today I'm going to talk to you about specific gear, budget-priced gear that you can spend least amount of money and get the most out of striper fishing. Now, all these setups I'm going to talk you through today are, they're applicable to other fish species, but and I'll mention those as I'm going through setups. But I'm going to zero in on the striper and help you get the most out of every single dollar you spend if you're targeting these beautiful species. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I'm going through setups for striper fishing that are worth anywhere between $130 to $50 for a complete setup. Means rod, reel, and in some cases line as well included. I'm going to start you off with a kind of higher end and kind of build us down all the way to the lowest end and the super budget setup. So first I'm going to turn your attention to a really nice setup that I've used for years. One of my guide friends put me onto this rod and reel combo as well, but it's not a combo. This is a two separate pieces. So Akuma Celilo CES 862HA. Now that's the rod. Now if you don't remember that, that's okay. We're gonna have a complete write-up on this setup on catchhappy.co. You can also buy this rod on catchhappy.co or anywhere else, including Sweeney Sports right here. Now what I love about this rod, it's extremely versatile. What I mean is the applications of it are almost endless. Right now I'm going to talk you through how this rod behaves for bank fishing. So this combo, the first combo I'm going to cover, is for bank fishermen. Okay, and it includes this rod and this Avenger AV 6000 size reel. So the rod is 8.6 feet. You want the length because from the bank, your casting ability is limited. You're not in a boat. You can't move up to a spot. So you cast out as far as you can with this one. You're going to do great. The lure weight on this one is between 1 ounce and 4 ounce, which means that even with a 4 ounce weight, okay, this rod will flex and it will spring your bait out as far as you need it to be. It's kind of on the thin side, but it's a very sturdy construction. It's a two-piece rod, which makes it super easy to have with you or to take with you, throw in the trunk. It has enough flexibility in the tip, but it's also pretty stiff. And that's kind of what you want to control the fish and while also seeing the bite. So this is the advantage of this Celilo rod. The recommended line size for this is 12 to 25 pounds, again, which is plenty for your bank fishing application for striper. Now, as far as the reel, first let's talk about line capacity. It's kind of what everybody worries about. Hey, am I going to get spooled? Well, on this one, not likely. 20-pound line, it will fit 165 yards of it, 16-pound, 195 yards, which is great. Another big advantage is these Akuma Avengers been around forever, and Akuma sorted them out quite well. So they're really well constructed for the price. This is on its own $58.99 for the reel and $64.99 retail for the rod. Again, under 125 bucks for the pair. Incredible. 33-pound drag, which means that's the tension that this reel can enforce onto the fish, which is again really good for a large game. You hook something like this up, right? This will give you a fighting chance. It's got 6+1 bearings, which is pretty good, and the gear ratio is 4.5 to 1. In other words, for each full turn, The bail does 4.5 turns for each turn of the handle. So highly recommend this one. I think this you'll be very, very happy with this setup. Now, if you got this setup, this rod and reel, the other alternative uses I would say that this rod can be good for is catfishing. You can go carp fishing. You can go even surf fishing for perch because it's long enough for you to cast it out there. You can use trout with power bait. You can troll with it. You can use live bait of any kind. This one is extremely versatile. One of the best purchases you'll make. Believe me, you'll be a fan once you kind of have it in your hands and get fish on one of these rods. Now the downside to this combo is it's not salt. It's not specifically made for salt, which means the reel is less expensive. Still high performance reel. But what I do with all my reels anyway is wash them down with fresh water after each fishing, and you'll do just fine. So number one, bank fishing, Celilo, and this Okuma Avenger AV 6000. It's going to be your best bet. Next, let's talk about lure fishing or casting, like swim baits or lures to catch stripers. The setup I would recommend for that will be, again, under $125. And if you were paying close attention, I'm going to reach for Okuma Celilo CES 8628, the same rod I recommended for the bait fishing. That's what I called it, super versatile. This will do a really good job for you if you're looking to cast for striper. So if you are one of these people who want to walk around the bank and cast your lures, or stand in one place, cast lures, this will do a fantastic job for you. Now, as I mentioned, this is rated for lures between 1 ounce and 4 ounces, which means you can throw anything from these very common, very popular rattle traps that get stripers super excited, to these large, huge 4 ounce lures to catch something like this. Okay, this rod is designed to load up and give you a good casting performance for lures between 1 ounce and 4 ounces, which is great, which is what you want for striper. As far as the reel, I'll reach for something else. I will leave this Okuma Avenger for bank fishing. I think it's much better for that. I like this, the performance and the weight savings of this Okuma C40. Again, it's the same budget priced reel. It's $58.99 on its own. Again, paired up with this rod, which is $64.99, you're going under $125 for a really, really good setup. I'm not even saying, no compromises need to be made. This reel is a little bit smaller and fits less line. So that's the only small little downside, but still a 12-pound capacity, which in my opinion is plenty for casting. You'll fit 160 yards of mono, and if you're doing braid, you'll fit a lot more. This one has 18 pounds drag, so it will help you kind of control the fish, and it's decent for the size. Gear ratio 5:1 and 7+1 bearings, which just means it's super smooth. I mean, the handle's a little bit on the small side. There are a few downsides here, but trust me when I say this, the weight is really important, because these are super lightweight and it balances really nice with the rod. So you have kind of like, you feel like you have a whole unit that's going to perform and do a good job when you're casting lures for stripers. Alternative uses for this, I would use exactly the same setup for halibut, for salmon. You got to be mindful of line capacity again, but you can do trout, you can do bass, you can do crappie. I mean, it's a little heavy for crappie, but like I said, any kind of live bait fishing, extremely versatile. It just in the case of lure fishing recommendation for striper, I would say go with this C40, Okuma C40, versus the Okuma Avenger 6000 for bank fishing. So if you want, you can buy one rod and 2 reels, and you get both of best worlds. Not to say you can't bank fish with this, you can, but it's a little bit on the lighter side and it's perfect for casting lures. If most of the fishing or some of the fishing you do is trawling for stripers and you have $185 to spend, I got a really good combo for you. I'm going to reach for, again, Celilo. I mean, this is, when you're talking budget and quality, man, these rods are amazing. So this one is CE-C-862HA. It's 8.6 foot length. It's heavy action, 12 to 25 pounds line recommendations, and 1/2 ounce to 4 ounce lure capacity. You notice this gives you a little bit ability to cast slightly lighter lures than the spinning variety of this rod, but it's essentially the same. This is the same, it's just the guides are smaller and this is designed to fit a spinning reel. So again, the quality and the strength of the backhand here, as well as the flexibility of the tip, this is kind of a perfect combo for trawling, because once you load it up and trolling behind the boat, you want to have some flexibility in the tip. I covered a lot of trolling in my previous videos. I do a lot of that, but you want to be able to see your lure play, and then when the bite happens, you need that indication to know that you have a fish on. Our recommendation is to pair it up with this $117 Akuma Convector CV354D. Now, this is for, if you buy fishing stuff, you know that the bait casters style reels are a lot more expensive. They spinning, but for trolling, I really like the counter. So even on a budget, I would spring extra $50 to get me this particular reel, just because it has the counter and I can go by numbers. I can set it up 80 feet behind the boat, 100 feet behind the boat, and I can do this again very quickly. If I have a catch and I want to troll the same spot, I know how far from the boat I am, because that basically changes how your lure acts and how far, how deep it goes. So with this particular one, it has a manual counter. Very, very easy to use. It's a little bit on the heavy side. The drag is 22 pounds, which is really good. It has only one handle. It's kind of a little bit downside, but not too bad. It's a little plasticky on the gearing here, but it's a quality reel. And Akuma makes a really good product. All their Akuma stuff is 1-year warranty, which they're good about. And again, as I said, this one, line counter, kind of makes it for me. So under $185, you can get yourself these two, and you will be very, very happy trolling for striper. It would also do any other trolling application: salmon, halibut, even trout. This will do trout for you as well. It's light enough to give you, it's not ideal for it, but it's light enough to do this for you. So very versatile combo, and again, priced under $185, which is not bad considering the quality and the bait caster you get. Okay, next I'm going to talk to you about the combos. The rod and reel that come in one and are sold as one as a combo. The first one we're going to cover is right under $130. It is a really nice setup. It's a Penn Fierce 4 with a 5,000 size reel. So kind of right there, perfect for bank fishing, and you can lure fish with it. I'll warn you right now, it's a little heavy. Okay, so this reel without line has got some heft to it. So bank fishing would be good. Casting lures, you probably can do it. You can even troll with it, but it's really heavy. So your best bet is to bank fish with it, but you can do other things with it as well. It's a 7-foot, medium heavy fast, means it's pretty stiff all throughout, but the tip is flexible enough, again, for your bank fishing aficionados to enjoy it. Line capacity is, well, recommended line for this reel size line is 12 to 20 pounds mono, but you can do 15 to 40 pounds braid on this. Lure recommendations, a half to 1/2 of an ounce. Again, it's not much of a lure fishing setup, but an excellent bank fishing setup. Line capacity on this one is about 225 yards, 12-pound mono, or if you put a 40-pound braid, you can do 240 yards of that. And a drag is respectable, 25 pounds. Nice, heavy feel to it. If you like a workhorse, rod and reel, this thing feels really, really solid. I mean, I'm surprised. The reel itself, if you go look for this one, it retails for about $110 to $140. So for $130 to snap up this whole combo is a great deal. You can go striper fishing tomorrow with this, or even today. We'll spool up one line and out you go. And you can also take this reel and put it on any other rod you have. I think this is great value for the money. You can fish this with any bait fish, live bait fishing application, cat fishing, carp fishing. You can maybe even do salmon and halibut, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. But any bait fishing, this thing is a tank. It's super well made. Penn is a great brand. I recommend it. 130 bucks. That's a good money. It's a good money to spend on something like this. Now we're gonna take a big swing and go into another bank fishing combo. This one's under $70. This is a Kuma Tundra Pro. Okay, let me talk you through some of the stats. First of all, it's a two-piece, and it's easy to travel with. It's a pretty nice rod. I like this rod. These guides are kind of huge on it. It's an 8-footer, which makes it pretty useful for bank fishing because you can cast the hell out there and get to the spot you want to get. Some of the stats: a line capacity recommendation on this rod is 10 to 25 pounds, which is expected for a bank fishing rod. Lures is 3/4 to 2.5. Again, I wouldn't really fish lures with it. I mean, you can. It has enough kind of give on that tip. You can see how it flexes. But it's a serious backbone here, so it is going to do a good job of kind of getting that fish out of the weeds or whatever. Now the reel is 6,000 size, so a 20-pound mono, you'll fit 250 yards, which is quite a bit, which is perfect. It's a 3-bearing, which means it's smooth, but it's not butter. It's not like these AV 6000s. It's okay. There's a little plastic componentry here. The drag is unknown. I'm imagining it's about 15 to 20 pounds of drag, so it should be okay. But know this, you're spending $70 for your heavy fishing rod, and you can go cat fishing, carp fishing, perch, trout with power bait and live bait of any kind. So it's going to give you all of the bank fishing applications you need for under $70. Again, a killer bargain. Maybe not as good as what I covered previously, but heck, again, if the choice is between going fishing and not going fishing, spend the 70 bucks, have a good time. It's a Kuma, 1-year warranty. It's going to perform for you. Now we're going down even further. So this one is a Kuma Tundra, no Pro in it. Kuma Tundra, nice big handle, fat, really backbone. It's sort of flimsy on top. It's kind of okay for bait fishing. It's great. You can see the sturgeon bite. You can actually use it for sturgeon too. This is 50 bucks. $50 for the whole thing, and it comes spooled up with a 20-pound monoline, and it fits 250 yards of it here. So, you can let that fish play around and eventually bring him in. The guides look pretty sturdy made. Again, it's a 2-piece, so you can easy to travel with. 1 bearing, which basically means that it's a workhorse. Maybe it's not a horse, maybe it's a mule. I would call it more of a work mule. It will do the job. It feels completely plasticky on the reel side of things. The rod feels good, but again, $50. If the choice is, hey, I lost my rod or I broke my rod, I need something right now to go fishing. I know I'm going to catch something if I just put some anchovies out there. Yeah, this is an easy decision. 50 bucks, and you go cat fishing, carp fishing, perch fishing, trout fishing on power bait, and any kind of live bait. Again, all your bank fishing application, this Kuma Tundra would do a good job for you. Well, there we are. Those are our recommendations for striper fishing. From the bank, throwing lures, bait fishing, or trawling. None of them break your bank. All of them are quality. The $50 one is a little flimsier than the rest, but heck, it's going to work for you. It's got a 1-year warranty. So if you are challenged with the budget concerns, which a lot of us are right now in this economy, this is how you should spend your money if you're looking to fish for striper and still get quality, and every dollar invested is going to provide you years of joy. Okay, check out catchhappy.co for the kits I'm covering today, as well as to book your guided fishing tour. It's a good idea to go out with the guide if you haven't fished for striper. They're not that hard to catch, but there are tricks and things you can learn with one guided trip that you won't learn from 40 YouTube videos. So there you have it. Check us out, catchhappy.co. Come visit us at Sweeney Sports in Napa. Would love to see you here. And until next time, tight lines and have a fantastic trip next time you go fishing.